Hi, I'm Dr. Patrick Mahaney. I'm the lead veterinarian for the ElleVet Pets and Needs project. And I have some really, really special guests here today that are very important to me and in my veterinary practice. Let's have you guys introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mark Steines. This is.
Wait, what do I do? Oh, no, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. I'm Julie Steines.
I'm the funny one. Okay, let's get that straight. We are the proud owners, parents of two fabulous dogs, Norbert and.
Who's here with us?
You want to say hi, Norbert? Very small, and we call him the little guy, and then we have the big guy, Fred, who's a golden retriever. Both the same age, both doing really, really well.
And what do you do like for a living?
What do I do for a living? I work in television and have done so for 30 some years. Mm-hmm. And what do you do?
That's always a tough question to answer, but I do a lot of philanthropy work with Norbert because he's a registered therapy dog, and also an author, and I work closely with my mother. We have a publishing company, but it's mostly Norbert stuff.
It seems like from my conversation with Norbert and his massive platform over many levels that it takes a team to run Norbert, and I can't believe it. Even your mom running that show. That's too. You do such a good job. Maybe tell us a little bit about Norbert and where he came from, and Fred and where he came from, and how they fit into your lives.
Okay, I'll start. So Norbert is the first dog that I've ever had in my life, and I adopted him when he was 4 months old. He was teeny tiny guy, and the woman who was looking for a home for him wanted someone who was, didn't have other big dogs or a lot of kids, and at the time I didn't, and so he was a perfect fit. He was like fit right in my hand, and he was just always had a real calm, like gentle demeanor, and right from when he was a puppy, and so somebody suggested he become a therapy dog, and that's what we did. When he turned 1, I got him registered, and we've been volunteering ever since. And then in addition to that, got to make a long story short here, my brother said, hey, why don't you start a Facebook page for Norbert? He's so cute. And so I did, and then one thing led to another, and then 11 years later, here we are, and Norbert has a social media following of 2 million-ish people, and has a mission to spread smiles, and 5 books. We're working on the 6th, and other good stuff. And also, good transition, because of Norbert, I met this guy, and
This guy, right? He's truly a unicorn because of Norbert introducing, yes, you get comfy. Us together, we now have a baby daughter, so he's kind of responsible in one way or another of bringing this beautiful, precious child into our life. My dog, our dog, before Julie came on board, it was for the boys and I came on board, is a movie star. He was in Spooky Buddies. He was B-Dog, and we flew to the set in Vancouver to adopt him. And because I'd worked at Entertainment Tonight, we were invited up to do so. And he was still filming, so we couldn't bring him home, but they adopt out all those dogs after they're done working. So he came into our lives about a little over, he was about 4 months old, I think. And he only worked for about a week because those dogs grow so quickly they can only film for a short period of time before they stop looking like the puppies that they are. Right. So he's been with us ever since, and he is our own personal therapy dog because he just loves everybody, and he senses us when we're not feeling well, if we're upset. He's a protector around the house, and he is just, if he were a person, he would be the mayor because he just gets along with everybody.
That's amazing. It's funny you say the Spooky Buddies thing because I remember through the blog pause community, it was just kind of started getting to doing anything media on the side from veterinary work. They connected me to Disney, I think it was, who did Spooky Buddies, and I interviewed some of the trainers for Spooky Buddies. So I'm familiar with Fred from his media work, but I actually didn't know about it until now, and that was like 2011, 2012. So it's kind of cool that I'm his veterinarian now.
Yeah, I'll have to show you the video when I find it. When he came into our house, it was about 5 o'clock in the morning when the camera crew showed up and the boys were sleeping, and I woke them up. And he was just, he's just took to them and still does.
That's a great surprise. So obviously your pets are very integral parts of your household. What do they mean to you? What do you love about them the most?
I think for Fred, I guess both of them, just as most pet owners know, their unconditional love is incredible. Both dogs are different. Norbert's like super quirky and bouncy, and Fred is just like kind of a goofball sometimes, but very sweet and resilient. It's very rewarding, I think, for everybody to have.
I think they're also too very, very sensitive. Like you'll see Fred roughhousing with the boys, but when he's with Parker, he is so gentle.
Parker,
our daughter, and even when she was very small, he knew just how fragile she was. So they just give back in so many ways. Like I said, they do know when we're sad or when we're not feeling well. They'll cuddle up and want to be there for you, and they just, I don't know, they just make a house a home. They really do.
That's great. I have my little Norbert as well.
Norbert, look at you. What?
He actually has been kept in plastic from when I bought one, and then you gave me one as well. And I gave one to one of my coworkers who you met through Veterinary Cancer Group, Crystal, because she loved Norbert so much. And when she left the practice, she asked if she could have him. I'm like, okay, yes. And then I knew I still had mine at home. But this one is like pristine because he's been kept in plastic the whole time until today. But he's always sat on my shelf in my office, and he's my little mascot there. Well, this is an unusual time, certainly in society, everybody being affected by the pandemic. My practice is mildly affected by it, and then I just really seeing some appointments outside. Challenging for certain people, or lack thereof. So what we're trying to do with the Pets in Need project is to bring veterinary services for free to communities that have none. What do you think of what we're trying to do?
She's taking a drink.
Sorry, right when you're talking about that. Can you say the question, the Pets in Need project?
So as we're trying to help people who maybe just need a little bit of help at this point in this challenging time, what do you think of what we're trying to do to help pets and people in the world?
Well, we were very fortunate that the ElleVet, the Elle van stopped by our house, and we got to meet a few of the people involved and hear more about the project in person at a safe social distance, of course. And it's remarkable. It's so wonderful. It's heartwarming. It makes us want to do more and give back. We saw some of the pictures of some of the animals and owners, and it's just so nice to see people helping each other and animals when there's so many in need right now.
Yeah, and I didn't realize too about the connection between pets and the homeless population and how they are so passionate about having those animals, and they can't care for them always. And when something happens to a homeless person, that pet goes without an owner. So they were discussing a little bit of what they're trying to do to help and to make sure that those animals are taken care of as well. It's an amazing calling.
Yeah, to have that. And I have to say, when Norbert met Amanda, he just like melted into her arms. Like he could just sense, I think, that she has a huge heart, and it just shows, like the way Norbert took to her, just so comfortable. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I saw it in the photos. Yeah, he looked very content being held in her arms, so that was really nice to see. Well, how can we find you guys so that our audience can engage with you and learn about Norbert and Fred and what you have going on, and Mark too.
Yes.
Yeah, Norbert. It depends, I guess, where people like to hang out online. But if somebody just Googles Norbert, they can find pretty much anything they want. His website's norberthood.com, and has all of his info, cool photos. Actually, we started a page on his website too with a lot of free, fun resources for people at home. It's called At Home with Norbert, where they can do different projects, and we made like a whole coloring book available. So if anyone's bored, right over there.
And I'm easy to find. I'm just look for me. I'm the guy with the mask. So no, that was a bad pandemic joke. No, I mostly am on Instagram, but I do have all platforms so up and running. There's a public page on Facebook as well, but it's just Mark Steines.
Great.
That's simple. Yeah.
Well, guys,
we don't have one for Fred yet.
I appreciate your time, Mark and Julie and Norbert and Fred too. Fred's somewhere lurking around. Yes. He's always such a presence to be around. Mr. Norbs, you're so cute. And you know, it's really rewarding for me as a veterinarian to be able to help a dog like Norbert, because he had some unusual problems where we weren't kind of figuring out what was it internal organ, was it musculoskeletal, and he has a very normal quality of life now without being on any medications. We take a multimodal management, and he's comfortable and looks great. He's kind of getting better with age.
He is. Yeah. Norbert is definitely a better dog because of you, Dr. Mahaney, that's for sure.
Back to that comment about getting better with age, does that translate to us humans? Can you give me some?
Absolutely. Mentally, at least.
Yes, there you go. Okay.
Well, guys, thank you so much for appearing. I really appreciate your time. Our audience, you can find us on, you can follow our story on elvetsciences.com/petsinnneed. You also can follow ElleVet Sciences on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm Patrick Mahaney on both, and we appreciate you joining us for the Pets in Need project. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye, thank you.